Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Aviation Training India. As all of you know, I'm Colonel Raj here. So today we will be talking about special VFR and VFR, which small aircrafts and helicopters have to do many times in their flights. So imagine that you have filed a VFR sortie for either a small fixed wing aircraft, which is not IR rated, or a helicopter. When you filed the VFR plan, visibility was 5.5 kilometers. As you walk in towards the aircraft, you find the visibility is going down, and the MET section tells you that the visibility is 3.5 kilometers. So, what do we do? Can we take off? Can we not take off? What conditions are applicable for special VFR when the visibility criteria is below VFR? Let us see all that in today's video. So, today I'll be covering this presentation under these heads. We will first see what is VFR, what is special VFR. Then we will see how to navigate the DGCA site and see the relevant civil aviation requirements. And then we will see specific to these special VFR conditions. Then we'll see what training is required and what all do you need to keep in mind when you're flying special VFR. So right off the bat, let us see the what is exactly VFR and why is knowing VFR conditions relevant? Okay, so here you see a small diagram here. So in controlled airspace, that is now controlled airspaces are A, B, C, D up to E. F and G are known as uncontrolled airspace. In another class later on, I will discuss the types of airspaces and what is available best in India. But as of now, we will keep it aside and think that we know it. And here, first, let us see below 10,000 feet what happens if you are in this aircraft. First thing is that your flight visibility should be 5 kilometers. Your distance from the cloud should be horizontally should be at least 1.5 kilometers, 1500 meters. And the ceiling above you, the level at which you are flying above you, there should be a ceiling of 1000 feet. That means the clouds which are covering more than half the sky are to be at least 1000 feet above your level. Remember, this is not that when you stand on ground, you see the clouds at 1000 feet, you can take off. No, if you are planning to do circuits and landings at 800 feet, then the ceiling should be at least 1800 feet. That is 1000 feet above your planned level. Now here above 10,000 feet, the visibility criteria goes to 8 kilometers. The rest of the conditions remaining same. So this is in controlled airspace. When we go to uncontrolled airspace like F and G, then rest of the criteria is all the same. The only difference is this is specially applicable for people flying helicopters on mineral survey or such like things. If you are maintaining below 3000 feet, then you should maintain a terrain clearance of 1000 feet and you should be CCISG. That means clear of cloud and in sight of ground. So terrain contact is very important, especially helicopters flying low. If there are clouds below you, if you are flying, say, at 2000 feet, it especially happens in valleys. If there are clouds below you, then you are flying undercast, which is not allowed. Okay. Flying overcast, if the ceiling is above a particular level, is allowed, but flying undercast, that means the cloud ceiling is below you, that is not allowed. So you have to be clear of cloud and in sight of ground. Now, this is what is VFR. But rarely the visibility is 5 kilometers. Okay, I've never seen visibility of 5 kilometers around Delhi. So what do we do? So they have said that there is special VFR is authorized. What is special VFR? The visibility can be below 5 kilometers and it can be up to 1500 meters. And this is, now remember that this is for only arrival and departure within the control zone when the conditions are below VMC. After the control zone is that 30 nautical miles around the airfield up to say 5000 feet as defined by that ATC's SOP. If En route visibility is much poorer than that, then you are responsible for that. Okay, remember, do not just take off with 1.5 kilometers visibility and not checking the en route visibility. After you are out of the control zone, the ATC is not responsible. So what all is required? Now aircrafts which are certified IR, they are fine. Which are not certified IR, they have to be having artificial horizon, directional gyro, rate of climb indicator, a VOR or an ADF. Nowadays, since the NDBs are out of most stations, VOR has become more mandatory, and a recommended option is to have the GPS. If any of these equipment gets unserviceable, then you should not fly special VFR. Although it is recommended here, I would suggest that don't try special VFR if your aircraft doesn't have GPS. Becomes very tough. Now, performance class 1 and 2 helicopters can go down up to 1000 meters. In another class, I will cover what is Cat A, Cat B, and what is performance class 1, 2, and 3 helicopters. Okay, so this is out of the preview of this lecture or this class. So now let's quickly see how do you navigate the DGCA site. Now, as a good pilot, you should always have the DGCA site bookmarked on your mobile, quickly access it. And you should, if somebody challenges any rule, this is where you should go to check. Okay, do not believe in any secondary books or any secondary information. Always go to the source to find. Now, when you go to this regulations and guidance section, here, the regulations and guidance section, then you will be able to access the civil aviation requirements, all the aeronautical information circulars, etc. So when we click civil aviation requirements, then we get this list. Remember, it is laid out in 11 sections, 1 to 11: general airworthiness, air transport, aerodrome standards, licensing, air safety, design standards, type certification, flight crew standards, training and licensing, aircraft operations, airspace, air navigation standards, aviation environment protection, and safe transport of dangerous goods. So most important for all of us is to know this 7 and 8. These are the ones which keep hitting us again and again. Okay. So now what are the CAR's civil aviation requirements which are relevant to the our small aircrafts or helicopter operations? So first thing is this one, which is 9C1, that is which talks about the rules of the air, where visual flight rules are given. Now, when you are flying VFR or special VFR, how high can you fly? Can you fly a flight plan and fly at 16,000 feet? No. Can you fly at 15,000 feet if the conditions are VFR? Yes. So VFR flight shall not be operated above flight level 150, cannot go transonic or supersonic, and visibility has to be 5 kilometers, and ceiling has to be, in this case, they've laid down ceiling 1500 feet, and from your that is for the control zone they've laid down, okay, for the airport as such. You can actually, if you follow the ICAO rule, then it is 1000 feet above your planned altitude. So they are presuming that you will not go above 500 feet or something. So then this is what it is given in the car. Also, you should maintain at least 1000 feet above the highest obstacle when within a radius of 600 feet from the aircraft. And you should not fly over very populated areas, congested areas, etc. Then you have to, these are the rules of VFR flight. Okay, let us see if there is anywhere special VFR given in this. Okay, special VFR is not in this. Okay, here they have given the visibility and criteria distance. Here you can see that the ceiling has been mentioned as 1000 feet vertically, but later on they have said that it has to be at least 1500 feet. So use the one which gives you more safety. Right. Now let's see what is the special VFR requirement of as given in the car. regarding, here this is the one which talks about VFR and special VFR. For now, these cars have been issued in 2022, recent ones, okay, just about 3 years old or less than 3 years old, and they have corrected many of the errors which were there earlier. You can be allowed to fly up to 1500 meters for performance class 3 and 1000 meters for performance class 1 and 2 helicopters. Okay, these performance types I will discuss later. Then they are talking of uh, special VFR operations, detailed instructions, flight crew training, and this thing I will cover this later. The ground visibility is not less than 1000 or 1500 meters, depending on the performance class. Special VFR authorized helicopters fitted with minimum instruments stipulated in para 1.6. Okay, so this is the one which you have to look at what instruments are required, which we have discussed earlier. And ATC has the discretion to ask the pilot in command to confirm the compliance of the requirements of this car before authorizing this thing. And operator and pilot in command shall be responsible for ensuring the compliance. Okay, so I will give you an example of what used to happen to us when we used to give a call. Let us say I am parked at Baroda, and Baroda visibility is now 2.5 kilometers. I have filed a VFR plan for survey of pipeline survey around Baroda. So when I give a call, Baroda Tower, Victor Tango, Alpha Bravo Charlie, persons through security 04 and QNH so and so. There is no ATIS in Baroda. I think it was not there a few years back. And then you say request startup. So then the chef, sorry, you don't give the QNH, he will give the QNH if there is no ATIS. If there is an ATIS, Aero Automatic Terminal Information Service, you are supposed to listen to that. And in your startup call, say QNH 1012 information, Bravo. That is what you have monitored, and then give the request startup. Now, if the visibility is 3.5 kilometers, he will say Victor Tango Alpha Bravo Charlie, startup not approved, VFR operation suspended, visibility 2.5 kilometers. Okay. So now, if you don't know what to say now, you will be foxed. So here you have to say that Baroda Tower, Victor Tango Alpha Bravo Charlie, request departure under special VFR, aircraft certified, crew qualified for special VFR, request startup. Okay. Now this call gets recorded in the ATC that you have given your compliance of both the aircraft and the crew. And then he will say that Victor Tango Alpha Bravo Charlie cleared startup, cleared for departure under special VFR conditions within control zone. Okay, this is what the exact call is which he gives, so that he has washed off his responsibility outside the control zone. Okay, if you crash 5 nautical miles out of the control zone, he will say, भाई मुझे नहीं पता, मैंने तो यहीं तक क्लियरेंस दिया था, ठीक है? So this is what it is. Sometimes people don't give the full call. They just say request departure special VFR. Then ATC ends up asking confirm aircraft certified, confirm crew qualified, and you are wasting your time giving extra calls. So it is always better to give it in one go in the beginning only, so that it gets recorded and you get a quick startup. Okay. All right. If any pilots listening to this have any doubts later on, you can message me and I will clarify, because I've done a whole lot of special VFR flying in my civil commercial flying. And now there's one more important car. This was 805. There is one H23 also. Okay. And this one is, if you can note down these numbers and later on you can check it out, then it'll be fine. Otherwise, you can go to the DGCA site and download it. This H part 2, 8H2 was again issued very recently with the revision 23rd February 2024. This talks about flight crew training and requirements. What is the composition? What is the training program? What should be the recent experience? This is very, very important for all helicopter pilots. Please keep it on your mobile. And here, when you are going for special VFR, then you have to have, the helicopters have been divided into 3 categories. Okay, group 1 helicopters are all single engine helicopters with piston engines or turbine part. Group 2 are uh, So group 2 helicopters are those with 5,700 kgs or less, and group 3 are those which certified max takeoff mass 5.7 tons or more. Okay, now do not confuse them with performance class 1, 2, and 3. Those are different. These are the groups for the purpose of the issuing the training requirements. Okay, now here uh, all conversion types, how much training, all the skill test, how much time, all this is given. So all of you are going for conversion into from one type to another, initial skill test, all these you should have these data with you. And here it is also given that special VFR training is what is required in special VFR training, what is required in pilot proficiency test. Okay, earlier we used to do one syllabus of about 6 hours for special VFR, and then we would renew it every year. Nowadays, what has happened is they have reduced it and they have put that special VFR training is required. Okay, this talks about mountain training, hill training, and all. Then you have uh, external loads, hoist operations. All these trainings are given. Somewhere there is special VFR training also, which talks about uh, ground test followed by here it is special VFR training para 8. So firstly, you should have minimum 500 hours on helicopters, in which at least 100 hours should be PIC. Then if two people are operating the helicopter, then only the PIC needs to have special VFR qualified. The other one can be a limbo timbo type. Okay. And there has to be ground training done. We have to give one ground training certificate. Basically, there is some course conducted and basic teaching is done. Then use of these are the syllabus for that. Use of nav aids, landing aids, spatial disorientation, CFIT, situation awareness, and ground test, then flying training, departure and arrival procedures. When I did this syllabus of almost 6 hours syllabus, I did, and the final test was I did a full instrument landing with the ILS, VOR, and ILS landing with my instructor was very strict. In fact, he had covered my eyes, and I did totally blind ILS landing on a B3 in Guwahati. And nowadays, it's become much simpler. You should be able to read the ILS chart. You should be able to do it. Okay. And if anyone wants to get any suggestions on how to do it, you can call me. I can guide you. And thereafter, then there is this test done by the flying training test is done by the TRI or TRE, type rated instructor, type rated examiner. And after that, they authorize you with a certificate and one tappa on the logbook. So earlier, we used to get it, do a recurrent training every year and then do one sort of along with the PPC, do a special VFR recurrent test. Nowadays, they've said that once if you get through approved, then it's good enough. So things have become easier. Okay. Rest of the things are the pilot proficiency test and all those things. So remember this car 8H2 See issue 3. This you can download from the DGCA site, and also 8005 issue December 22. These two should always be there on your mobile for quick checking. Okay. Also, what I would suggest is have these pilot proficiency checks forms always ready with you, blank. Whenever you get a chance to do a PPC, a TRE has come into town and फटाफट बोलते चल बैठ जाओ, let's do a PPC. So then you should not be hunting around for forms after that, and have these data with you so that nobody can take you for a ride. Okay, it is very, very important to be a knowledgeable pilot, a person who's aware of all the rules rather than just be a dumbo and believe anyone who says, अरे PPC इतने में होता है, ऐसे नहीं होता, वैसे नहीं होता है, तो then you are confused what the hell is happening. You should be crystal clear in your mind. What does the rule book say? What am I doing? Okay. Also, suggestion to all new pilots, maintain one small training file. Every document, right from your computer number to your ground test passing to any course or any thing which you do, that certificate in original should be maintained in that. Also scan it and keep a digital copy on your drive. So that suppose I have seen many times, like once I got down in Kedarnath from my helicopter and was coming, and that DGCA chap was standing there. He said, "Sir, show me your last PPC, show me your last medical, show me your this, that, blah, blah, blah." So I had all the documents. They were in my room there. So you can't say, sir, वो तो मेरे होटल के रूम में पड़े हैं इधर उधर. तो मेरे पास सब स्कैन था. I just quickly showed him on my mobile. He was very, very happy. He said, sir, mornings I've been asking 4 odd pilots I've asked, nobody had all this data systematically the way you have kept. So should be a thorough person, follow the rules, and you'll never get into trouble with any authority. Okay. So that's about it for this class. I've covered what is VFR, what is special VFR. We have seen DGCA site, civil aviation requirements. We've seen the training requirements for special VFR. We have covered mainly helicopters, but it is same for fixed wing as well. Okay, small fixed wing aircrafts operating special VFR can also fly up to 1500 meters, 1500 meters, 1.5 kilometers visibility for arrival and departure within the control zone. So that's about it. And thank you very much for subscribing to my channel. All of you who are seeing it and not yet subscribed, kindly do so. We will be posting useful videos for all the pilots entering the aviation industry regularly. If there are any questions, you can all post it to me on WhatsApp or put a comment in the below the video on YouTube. Thank you very much. That's all. Good day, everyone.